ayan, good afternoon guys. First of all, what is tacit all about? So, pag sinabi po nating tacit, yun po yung insight, intuition, emotion, or opinion natin. So, pag kinonvert naman po natin siya sa explicit explanation, siya po yung, ang knowledge elicitation, sa knowledge elicitation, meron po siyang knowledge capture na makukuha. Then, ang magiging kalalabasan po nun is knowledge elicitation plus knowledge representation. So, let's move on to the basic one-on-one interviews. This is what you call kick-off interview. So, ang objective po nito is establish good rapport with expert. So, the meaning of a rapport is relationship, especially one of mutual trust or emotional affinity. So anyway, demonstrate to the expert that the KE has made an honest attempt to gain familiarization with the domain before the meeting. So, ang typical agenda po ng kick-off interview is maximum of 1 hour lang po. So, number 1 is introduction and light conversation. Number 2, explanation of the objectives of the elicitation process. Number 3, discussion of the importance of the project. 4, discussion of what is expected of the expert and what the expert can expect from the knowledge elicitation. Number 5, identification of reading materials the expert recommends for the KE to review. And last, number 6, scheduling of subsequent meetings. So, yun po yung kinabibilangan po lahat ng kick-off interview. So, next naman po is general knowledge gathering session. This is one kind of knowledge elicitation session. So, ang objective po ng general knowledge gathering session is learn general principles about the domain from the expert. Then, it must better understand the subject matter. And number 2, it must better understand the expert's opinion and viewpoints on the domains. Wide-ranging, emphasizing breadth, knowledge gathered probably will not be explicitly expressed, relieves some of the burden from the expert by not requiring a continual definition of every term used. Then, facilitates open-ended questions which require discussion. Yun po yung number 1 sa facilitates open-ended questions, which ay yung required discussion po yung pinakauna. Then yung pangalawa, cannot be answered simply with a yes, no, simple term or number. Then yung last po, maximum lang po siya ng 1 to 2 hours per session. So next po, specific problem solving, knowledge gathering session. This is a one kind of knowledge elicitation session again. Then, ang objective po nito is learn how to the expert solves specific problems or answer questions in the domain. Knowledge gathered probably will be explicitly expressed using the system's knowledge representation language. Then sa specific problem solving knowledge gathering session, siya naman po yung ask many close-ended questions which are with specific and ganun din po, can be answered simply with a yes, no, simple term or number. So next naman po is knowledge elicitation sequence. Meron po siyang tinatawag na output, input, and middle. So, sa weaknesses naman po ng isang one-on-one interview is the question and answer interview is not always the most efficient means of eliciting knowledge from an expert. In some domains, considerable expertise is documented in instruction manuals or books. Sometimes, even cooperative experts have difficulty articulating their expertise. Other elicitation techniques can be used when appropriate. Number 1 is observational elicitation. And number 2 is role reversal. So, that's all. So, yan.
Dito naman tayo sa observational elicitation. Observational elicitation, KE observes the expert at work, trying to understand and duplicate the expert's problem-solving methods. So, ito yung nag-observe tayo sa mga expert para maintindihan natin at masolusyonan yung mga problema nila. So, sa observational elicitation, meron tayong mga types. Ito yung merong quiet on-site observation. Number 2, on-site observation with discussion. Number 3, exercising the expert. Number 4, problem description and analysis. Observational elicitation, punta tayo sa quiet on-site observation. KE cannot question experts while they work. So, sa quiet on-site observation, ito yung tahimik nating pag-observan yung expert habang nag-work sila. Experts' train of thought is not continually interrupted by questions, so they can proceed at their most effective and realistic form. Lack of interaction leaves KE wondering about the solution approaches taken by the expert. If expert is asked to talk aloud as they work, can make experts self-conscious, causing them to alter it or to create a verbalization, and that is much more less complex than what they are actually doing. Should be used to get a feel for the total magnitude of the problem-solving process. To verify or reject that a hypothesis approach is in use. Should not be used to obtain details about the process. Question and answer session should be followed. So number 2, observational elicitation, on-site observation with discussion. So sa on-site observation, ito yung habang in-interview o nakikipag-interact tayo sa expert, nag-observe din tayo. KE may interact with the experts while they work. Permits KE to better probe the process observed. Expert may become distracted by the questions and not follow the normal procedure. Should be used when the observed task does not significantly challenge the expert's problem-solving abilities. Should not be used when the expert needs to struggle to reach a solution. Symptoms: uneasiness, hesitation in decision-making, refusing to create a solution in front of the case. Question and answer session should follow. So sa number 3, observational elicitation, exercising the expert. In some domains, problems arise only seldom and unpredictably. So, sa exercising the expert, di ba minsan hindi natin agad na-identify yung mga problem o hindi natin maintindihan yung mga problem. Kaya ginagamit natin yung observational elicitation. Dahil sa pag-observe, pwede tayong makakita ng mga details na pwedeng makatulong sa atin. Even when problems arise frequently, the difficulty level of the usual problems may not be sufficiently high. Impedes knowledge elicitation by observation. In such cases, KE may prepare cases for varying difficulty from historical data. Presented to expert in an offline environment to observe the expert's methodology. May also be used to supplement a case library for CBR. Improvements to elicit experts' abilities to provide additional information about their problem-solving expertise. Limited information task. A routine task is performed but the expert is not provided certain information that is typically available. Sa constraint processing task, a routine task is performed but the expert must execute it under some constraint. So, sa last type ng observational elicitation is yung problem description and analysis. Sometimes, it is useful to observe cases that are classical problems rather than real or historical cases. So, example dito, yung mga cases na typically natin i-discuss ng mga prof natin or mga instructors sa classroom natin. Yung mga normal na situations lang. Normally, such cases are selected by the expert. But occasionally, the KE may find them useful to select when questioning the expert. KE should make sure the expert explains the rationale behind distinguishing these problems are classic. What are the key relationships or features that make these cases significant? It may also be used to supplement a case library for CBO. So, yun yung mga types ng observational elicitation na makakatulong sa atin sa paggagather.
Role reversal techniques. KE acts as the expert or pseudo-expert. The pseudo-expert attempts to solve a problem in this presence of the true expert or role-playing. The true expert questions the pseudo-experts about what they are doing and why, like the observation process, but with the role reserves. May be used when KE already has a significant understanding of the problem process. KE wishes to verify correctness of understanding, can clarify, modify, and provide significant new knowledge not previously. Next is team interviewing. Under some circumstances, interviewing may involve more than one KE and one expert. The types of team interviewing is one-on-many, many-on-one, and many-on-many.
Go.
Team interviewing. One of these is one-on-many. Common when several experts work closely together. Each expert may be specialized in slightly different areas in complementary fashion. Katulad ng sa pag-doktor ka, di ba? Hindi mo naman specialize lahat ng branches eh. Merong nag-specialize na ubigay, sa teeth, sa senses, di ba? So, kapag nag-meeting sila, kunyari may ooperahan, ganun yung ginagawa nila. Kailangan nila mag-brainstorming para maging maayos yung pasyente. Third one is, if differences of opinion arise during a discussion, good chance of resolving them immediately and amicably. Typically, in such an environment, this immediately uncovers a deeper level of knowledge. Yun nga, yung pag-meeting, isa yun sa pwedeng paraan para mapag-combine yung opinions and suggestions ng bawat isa. Sometimes, the expert do not get along and undermine team's productivity. Can be reductant, especially in general knowledge gathering sessions. Inexperienced knowledge elicitations may be overwhelmed by multiple experts. Even experienced knowledge elicitations may be exhausted quickly, since the KE must maintain concentration while each expert can drift in and out of high goal.